Jim Henson's 1986 cult classic Labyrinth follows the quest of a teenage girl to save her baby brother. 15-year-old Sarah Williams, fed up with her mediocre life and her annoying little brother Toby, accidentally summons the mythical Goblin King one night to take Toby away. Immediately regretting her decision, Sarah embarks on a dangerous quest to travel through the perilous labyrinth and find her baby brother in the Goblin King's castle before time runs out. Along the way, she meets many colorful characters, is almost torn to pieces by a singing group of Fireys, and almost drowns in the bog of stench. In the end, however, she is able to defeat the Goblin King, rescue Toby, and return home victorious. Now, if you're thinking that this all sounds ridiculous, a girl getting chased by maniacal Muppets, a farting bog, David Bowie as a goblin? You're right, it's just bizarre, but it all fits together. How? Mise en scène. Mise en scène is defined as all that is seen within the shot, from props to costumes to characters, even to movement. For example, just by looking at this shot of Sarah's room, you can already infer a lot about her. As you can see, she really likes stuffed animals, which suggests that she's still very much a child. Here we have a rather famous illustration, which was a big inspiration for this film, particularly the staircase scene in the Goblin Castle. It's pretty trippy, right? I mean, she's got a weird imagination. She also has posters on her walls of theatrical productions, suggesting that she likes theater. And here we have a poster of a woman who matches the picture on her desk. She has more pictures and magazine articles of this woman on her dresser. It is her mother, divorced from her father and living a successful life on Broadway. Adding this to the small library of fantasy books, the strange statues, and Sarah's habit of dressing up and acting out those books, we can get a pretty clear idea of Sarah's personality and life. She's a childish, imaginative young woman turning to escapism and fantasy to distract her from the feeling that she has been replaced by her parents, either by their careers or by their new family. And, as an added bonus, the objects within Sarah's room also act as hints for things to come. The man in the picture with her mother? David Bowie. The weird statue? David Bowie again, but as Jareth, the Goblin King. There's also a Fiery, a music box with Sarah in her ball gown, a small Sir Didymus next to a maze game, and a bookend that looks an awful lot like Hoggle, the dwarf. All of these small details work to tie the world of the Goblin Kingdom into what we already know about Sarah's life. Now, if we look at the Goblin King's castle, we're going to see something very different. I mean, look at how drab it is. But it's definitely what you'd expect from goblins. It feels like a real, lived-in, fantastical castle where the goblins actually live and work. And look at all these goblins, and how much movement there is in this scene. It's feeling pretty crazy, right? Just like you'd expect a castle full of goblins to be. And look at this, they even have a chicken! It is my non-expert opinion that the best animal to include in any movie is a chicken. There's just something about them. Remember the snake from Star Wars Episode 5? How when it appeared on the tree in Dagobah when Luke was walking by, and it suddenly made the scene seem real and creepy? I felt shivers going down my spine. Snakes are good for making scenes feel scary, but chickens are good for making them feel normal, even boring. It almost gives you the idea that those goblins are just hard-working homebuddies, doesn't it? Like they really live there, rather than just showing up for a few scenes. Another example of mise en scène comes from the costumes and designs of the characters. Look at these guys. I mean, look at all of them. Do you notice how some of these party guests look like the goblins we saw earlier? Yeah, that's because they are. And their costumes are conveying that idea that they're the same characters that we've seen before, only warped inside this whole dream dance thing. And look at how busy these shots are again. Mise en scène, like I've said, isn't just about what people are wearing or what's around them. It's also about where they are in relation to the camera and also to one another. There's a lot of people in these shots. Feeling claustrophobic yet? Confused? Think you feel as anxious as Sarah does in this scene? Not only are the guests wearing costumes designed to look like the goblins from earlier so that us viewers recognize that they're not real party guests, and not only is Sarah running around what is essentially a giant glass orb, but we are also feeling the same nervousness that our main character is. Bam, mise en scène. In conclusion, Jim Henson's Labyrinth uses mise en scène to convey to its audience multiple things, such as who its characters are, where those characters are, and what they are feeling. And in doing so, it somehow ties together its doozy of a story. Thank you for watching.
You remind me of the babe. The babe with the power.
What power?
Power of voodoo.